Yeah,
Om
correct.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Supatantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rup Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishakam Vidamscha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabano Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lange Degiram Yat Kripatam Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Misharam Yonda Pravishya Mamavachamimam Prasuktam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharastadam Namanyam Chahasta Charana Charana Togadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Jayadam Surado Pangor Mama Mandamadir Gadi Sarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Madhidevam Karunanidhanam Tamalavarnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhagavata Surupam Paramananda Pathaya Premavarshi Aksharayade Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Sri Krishnaya Namostume Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna, Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text 7. So, Hare Krishna, Jiveshri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashuvairakyam Jnanam Cha Yadhaitukam Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadhaitukam. Okay, Shilpa Mataji and Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Suveragyam Jnanam Cha Yadhetukam.
Very bold.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detached from the world.
Very bold. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of God at Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So it is said here that by doing devotional service, we get causeless. What is causeless knowledge means? What do you mean by causeless? Ahaituki, without any reason, without any cause. Okay. So causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So causeless knowledge means one who gets this knowledge without even deserving that. So causeless mercy of Vaishnavas. I don't deserve it. Okay. But then I'm getting it. It's a causeless mercy of the Vaishnavas. Similarly, here also, simply by rendering devotional service, we get the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Immediately, that will enable us to get detached from this material world. Now we are all attached to this material world. Okay, we are attached to this material world by means of sense gratification. We want to engage our senses for satisfying our senses. Okay, so we are too much attached in this material world. We have, our family, husband, wife, parents, children, and our position in the office, our possessions, our bank balance, our name, our fame, all these things we are attached to. This is binding us in this material world, isn't it? It's not that we should not have them. We can have them, there's no problem. But we should not be attached to those. We should do our duty as we are supposed to do our duty in whichever ashram we are in. We should do our duty. We should love them. We should take care of them. We should do all that, but without any attachment. If we have attachment, what happens? What happens if we have attachment?
We may not able to attach our mind to Krishna if we have the attachment of material things.
Yeah, that is one thing. Other reason, we will be bound in this material world again and again. That's why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says in 3rd chapter, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So all the activities that we are doing in this material world, it should be offered as an yajna to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yajnarthat as an yajna means the activity should be so done that we have to submit it, we have to surrender it for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead, not for our sense gratification. Of course, our senses will also get enjoyment. Our desires will also get accomplished. When the water is poured at the root of the tree, the whole tree gets nourishment, isn't it? Similarly, when the Supreme Lord is satisfied, we being the part and parcel of that Supreme Lord, we are also getting satisfaction. So all that we are doing should be for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So rendering devotional service is to please Supreme Lord. So what happens? What's the result? One immediately acquires causeless knowledge. It's a causeless. It is the mercy of the Supreme Lord that we are getting the knowledge that how we can detach from this material world. So those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, to be something like material, emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realizations are recommended. According to them, bhakti or the devotional service of the Lord is meant for those who cannot perform the high grade activities. So some people may argue. What they will argue? So these are all, bhakti is meant for those who are lazy. Okay? Bhakti is meant for those who are lazy, you cannot do other activities in a nice way, in a proper way. So they argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes, transcendental realization recommended. Yes, it is recommended, no doubt. But even above that is bhakti. Bhakti is that process by which we can get connected to the Supreme Lord. All others are pious activities. Pious activities, this, for example, sacrifice, charity, austerity, acquiring knowledge, these are all pious activities. Okay? Without relating to Krishna, if we are doing all these activities, it comes in the category of pious activities. And if we are doing activities which are forbidden, that comes in the category of impious activities. So sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and all such processes are there. But we have to add Krishna into it. We have to keep Krishna in the middle of these activities. We should do these activities to please Krishna as per injunctions given in the scriptures, not whimsically. If you do it whimsically without following the injunctions of the scriptures, then the results will be different. So according to the bhakti or devotional service of the Lord is meant for those who cannot perform the high grade activities. Generally, it is said that the bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and less intelligent women class. This is a general understanding of the people. Bhakti is not meant for people, of higher grade. It is meant for Shudras and Vaishyas who cannot do activities like sacrifice, charity, austerity, and all. But that is not the actual fact. Prabhupada says very clearly that is not the actual fact. It is a misconception. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. So it is the topmost process to attain Krishna, the lotus feet of Krishna. And that is the sublime and easy process also. Okay, by doing bhakti, by engaging in pure devotional service, we get what is not begotten by doing other activities. So the bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti to achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna is a great science, and it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of the high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self-realized kings. So it is not restricted, this process is not meant for a particular sect of people. Anyone and everyone can follow this process. There is no caste bar, religion bar. Okay, there is no time, place, and circumstances, especially doing devotional service, especially chanting this mantra, which is the Yuga Dharma. Okay, other procedures like the rituals mentioned in the Shastra, we may have to undergo, we may have to follow certain rules and regulations, but the Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga, that is the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is not governed by any rules and regulations. Anyone, irrespective of caste, color, creed, time, place, circumstances, can take up this process. So 9 types of devotional service recommended by Prahlad Maharaj: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So one can take up all these and some of this according to our capacity. So the other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc. are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. So all these things are corollary factors, supplementary factors. Okay, supplementary factors only following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. So bhakti is topmost. So when we are doing bhakti, automatically other activities also will engage in, knowing well that bhakti is the actual thing that we are supposed to perform. And this is definitely because we are in human body, we are following Varnashrama Dharma, we are supposed to do all these things. But we should never think that bhakti is dependent on these activities. Bhakti is independent of all these activities. So this is what we have to understand. The principles of knowledge and detachment are 2 important factors on the path of transcendental realization. Jnana, Vairagya. These 2 factors are mentioned here. The principles of knowledge, that is Jnana, detachment is Vairagya. So if we really want to have transcendental realization or self-realization, we should have knowledge and Vairagya, that is detachment, without which we will not have self-realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. The whole process, whether it is material or spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection, become attached to. So we should slowly shift ourselves from the conception of material to spiritual. Whatever we are doing, it may apparently look like material activities. Even that we can dovetail as spiritual activities. We are going to office, we are going to school for studies, we are doing household chores. Everything can be, dovetailed in such a way or molded in such a way that it becomes spiritual. I'm going to office to earn money. Why I'm going to office to earn money? Because I have family. The Supreme Lord has entrusted me with some responsibilities of taking care of my wife, my parents, my children, and other such relatives, to bring them into Krishna conscious activities. For that, I need money, Lakshmi. I should have a house. I should feed them prasadam. I should train them in the Krishna conscious way. For that, I need to work. So connect this work into Krishna conscious activities, keeping Krishna in the center. So it is no longer a material activity. Our job is no longer a material activity when we keep Krishna in the center. When we try to fulfill the duties that has been allotted to us, then it is no longer material activities. So actually, if we are Krishna conscious, no activities are material. Yeah? So here it says, becoming detached from material things does not mean becoming inert altogether, as man with a poor fund of knowledge think. So it's not that, becoming spiritual means you don't do anything. Just be inert, inactive. No, you do what you are supposed to do. If you are an engineer, do that work. If you are a doctor, do that work. If you are a farmer, do that work. But keep Krishna in the center. Make your activities in such a way that Krishna is pleased, and we are doing our dharma, our duties to please Krishna. Naish karma means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad effects. Naish karma means not doing activities that will produce bad or good results. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. I don't want to do that. Negation does not mean negation of the positive, which is good. We should do it. But don't do that is bad. Negation of the non-essentials does not mean negation of the essential. So what is essential we should do? We should avoid what is not essential. Similarly, detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. When we are engaged in the positive activities, automatically the negative activities take a back seat. We will not indulge in doing such activities, knowing well that these things will bind us in this material world again and again. So if we are doing bad activities, we have to come back again in this material world in a form that is suitable to suffer the reactions of that. And if you are doing good activities, we have to come back again in this material world in a form that is suitable to enjoy that good activities. So whether you are doing good activities or bad activities, we have to come back again, either to suffer or to enjoy. So what do we do then? What do we do? I don't want to come back. So what's the option? What's the way out? So there are 3 karmas. In the 3rd chapter, Lord Krishna says, Arjuna is telling, oh Lord, I don't want to do any activities. I just want to go into the forest, beg and live. I don't want to get involved in this, sinful activities. So please relieve me. Please allow me to go from this battlefield. I will go to the forest, beg and live. I don't want to get implicated in the sinful activities. So Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, you cannot be inert. You cannot be inactive. You have to do something. Okay. And when you do something, there will be reaction. If you do bad activities, you'll get bad reaction. If you do good activities, you will get good reaction, for which you have to come back again. So it's not a solution that you are thinking that just running away from the battlefield, not involving in this war, you are escaping. No, don't think that you are escaping. You cannot be idle at any point of time. You have, because you are a sentient being, you are a conscious person, and especially you are a Kshatriya. When something injustice is taking place, and if Arjuna sees, his blood will boil, being a Kshatriya. Immediately he will take his Gandiva. So even if he is trying to act as a beggar in the forest, if something injustice takes place, he cannot keep quiet. Immediately, if some injustice is done there, immediately he'll get angry and he'll take the Gandiva, will shoot that person whoever is involved in that injustice, and for which he will have to inquire the result, whether good or bad. So what's the use of, running away from the battlefield? Whether you are in the battlefield or in the forest begging, you will act because you are a Kshatriya. So don't do pious activity, don't do impious activity. That means don't do karma, don't do vikarma. Do what? Then do what?
Niskam karma.
Nishkarma. Nishkarma.
Niskam karma.
What's the exact word?
Yukta Vairagya, Prabhu.
No, there are three karmas: karma, vikarma. What is the exact word for the
Akarma.
other? Akarma.
Akarma.
So what is akarma means?
Do the Krishna consciousness activity.
Ah,
Do all the activity
karma
in the
to
Krishna.
please Krishna.
Krishna.
Karma to please Krishna, not for gratifying my senses. Arjuna was trying to satisfy his senses because this is sinful activity, this is good activity, that is bad activity. I don't want to get involved in this. I will run away from this. Why should I unnecessarily kill my own people and go to hell? He was not trying from Krishna's point of view. From the higher perspective, he has not seen. So Krishna is taking Arjuna to the higher perspective. What is that higher perspective? You do activity, but do the activity in such a way that you don't incur pious or impious result. So what is that activity? That is a karma. Do the activities to please Krishna. As Krishna says, Krishna is directly commanding Arjuna there in the battlefield. What a great fortune that Arjuna has. Isn't it? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is directly commanding Arjuna on the battlefield. You do this, you don't do this. We are not that fortunate because Arjuna is an exalted devotee. He has been an constant companion of Lord Krishna from time immemorial. And are we less fortunate? No. We too are not less fortunate. We are also very fortunate. Why? Out of billions and billions of people on this earthly planet, how many people are coming to such satsang? Just imagine how many people are practicing Krishna consciousness. We too are not less fortunate. We are also very, very fortunate because out of billions and billions of people, only hardly few are coming into satsang or practicing Krishna consciousness. So similarly, the bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the living being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That is a sign of a pure devotee. So we should not do any activity for our sense gratification. any activity that is given in the scriptures, as given in the scriptures, that means that is, we should follow the principles, or we should follow the rules and regulations given in the scriptures. We should not do anything whimsically. So that whatever instruction enjoined the scriptures, we should follow that. So those activities, do it for the pleasure of Supreme Lord. Okay. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yat karosi yat dasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusha madarpana. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are giving charity, everything do it as a offering unto me. Now he says, whatever you are eating. Now some may argue, Krishna said, whatever you are eating, you offer it to me, then eat. So I want to eat non-vegetarian. So I will cook non-vegetarian, offer to him and eat. Is that allowed? Why it's not allowed? He said, Yat karosi yad asnasi. Whatever you eat and whatever you do. So why it is not allowed? He says clearly, he did not say you do this, you do that. Yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusha madarpanam. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever charity you are giving, whatever finance you are doing, everything you offer it to me. So how can we reconcile this statement? So regarding whatever we eat, Krishna says very clearly that Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadham Bhaktya Ubaradam Asnami Prayadatmanaha. So what do you accept? He did not say chickenam, muttonam and all. He did not say that. So we are supposed to offer to him only that which is acceptable by him. Isn't it? And he has specifically said that we are not supposed to do any activities which are sinful. So whatever you do means we should do things that are favorable for our devotional service, not sinful activities. And penance or austerity for his pleasure, not for our pleasure. So he said that, but at the same time, scripture states that we should not do sinful activities and we should not eat that are the products of sinful activities, and the penance should be for his pleasure. So this is not possible by dry reasoning. We should not just see one verse and take that meaning and do whimsically. Krishna has said many, I explained many yogas. Karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. But he has finally concluded what? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. So that's the final instruction. He has given details of all different yoga system, but then he prefers us, those who are really serious, to come back home, back to Godhead. One instruction, that's enough. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. But we will do sharanam to anything and everything except Krishna. Isn't it? This is our problem. He says, Mam ekam sharanam raja. Surrender unto me only. But we'll surrender to everyone except Krishna. Once, a devotee said, a disciple told Prabhupada, I will not bow my head to anyone. I will not. Prabhupada said, is it? Do you go to barber shop to cut your hair? Yes, you don't bow your head there. So, we think that we are great. Okay. So, in conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of the Bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. So that is the supermost occupation, Bhakti. All others are corollary, secondary, supplementary. So any questions or any comments?
This nice karma is same as akarma?
Naishkarmya means not doing any activity.
Sure.
So that's what here in this year it is mentioned here. No?
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, okay. Any other points? Naishkarma means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad results, bad effects. Nishkama karma, that is difference. Okay, this is Naishkarma.
So Prabhuji, Niskam karma and akarma is same?
Akarma is the right word. Nishkama karma also there will be attachment.
Okay.
Nishkama karma is good, but it's not 100% pure like a karma. So for
Okay.
example, Nishkama karma, I don't expect any fruit of the karma, okay, or activities that I'm doing, but I am attached to the karma. I am attached to the work I am doing. There is again attachment to the work. For example, say I'm doing a honorary job in a temple, okay, as a treasurer. I'm telling the management, the temple authorities, I say I will do this job honorary. I don't want any this is a devotional service from my side. He said, well, good, go ahead. But then the temple management after a few days telling, oh, you are doing very nicely. Why don't you sweep the floor of the temple? The person who is doing that job is not coming. No, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I'll do only because I am attached to this particular activity. That's also equally important. That's also a devotional service. It is nothing superior or inferior. So I am attached to the work, although I am not attached to the result of the work. Got it? So
Clear,
Nishkama
Prabhuji.
Nishkama karma is good, but here we get stuck. But akarma is whatever the work may be, whether it is sweeping the floor or preaching or kirtan or cooking or gardening, whatever it is, everything is meant for Krishna. And there is nothing superior or inferior, just to please Krishna. Krishna in the Rajasuya Yajna, what sort of work he undertook? What sort of work Lord Krishna himself undertook at the time of Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira Maharaj?
Not sure, Prabhu.
Alright, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So welcoming and arranging the shoes of the guest.
Oh,
Got it? Krishna was taking care of padukas of all the what you call visitors, all the guests. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is doing such menial job. And who are we? Krishna is ready to become the charioteer of Arjuna. Krishna is ready to become the son of Yashoda and Nanda. Krishna is ready to become the Sakha of Gopas. So he is ready to accept any position. But here we have a little ego. I will do only this, I will not do that. Because this is inferior job, that is superior job. Got it? So akarma means anything and everything. I am not attached to the work nor the result of the work. I am there to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever he says, wherever he puts me into, Dharmaraja, the job of Dharmaraja is not very easy. he has to punish the sinful people. How many of us will take up that job given a chance? Eh? How many of us will be ready to do this job? Suppose there is a leave vacancy, Yavaraja is sent on a deputation, there is a vacancy, okay, you are getting a chance to be Yamaraja for 1 day, not more, 1 day. But you have to punish all those people who comes to
Akarma.
you. Eh?
To take the path of akarma. You have to surrender and you have to do it. What else you can do?
It's a devotional service. Bhishma Pitamaha, he fought in the opposite side against Krishna. It's a devotional service. He's a Mahajana. There are 12 Mahajanas. It is said, Mahajano Yena Gathasa Panda. We have to follow in the footsteps of the great personalities. There are 12 Mahajanas. Can anyone say who are the 12 Mahajanas?
I don't know all the name, but it's like Jama and then Narad Muni and then Shiva.
Yes. You know the sloka?
Sloka, I don't remember.
Swayambhu Narada Shambho, Kapilo Kumaro Manuhu, Pralado Janaka Bhishma, Belir Vayas Sakir Vayam. 12 Mahajanas. There are Mahajanas, great personalities, pure devotees. You have to follow in the. So Bhishma is a Mahajana. He was fighting against Krishna. How can he become Mahajana? That is what Krishna wanted.
Prabhuji, if you don't mind, can you name all 12? I'm just
Okay.
noting down.
Okay. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Swayambhu means, who is Swayambhu? Lord Brahma. Okay, Swayambhu is self-born from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Narada, we know Narada, says Narada, Manasaputra of Lord Brahma.
Yes.
Shambhu is Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Kumara, Sanat Kumaras. Sanat, Sanatana, Sanaka, Sananda. These 4 Kumaras are called Kumara.
Okay.
Kapila Muni is Lord's incarnation. They have this son, Kapila Muni.
Okay.
Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. This is the father of mankind.
Okay.
Prahlad, you know the great Prahlad Bhakt. Prahlad.
Yeah, correct.
Janaka Maharaj, Siddha Mada's father. Bhishma Pitamaha. Beli Maharaj is grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, we know the Vamana Leela. Vayasakhi Sukadev Goswami, who has narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to whom? Parikshit Maharaj. Vayam.
After Beli Maharaj.
Vayasakhi means Sukadev Goswami.
Okay.
Okay. Belir Vayasakhi Vayam. Vayam means, who is telling this? Me, myself. Vayam means myself. Who is telling this? Yamaraj.
Okay. Prabhu.
12.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you please read that again?
Prabhuji, Swayambhu, Narada, then Sambhu is Shiva.
Yeah.
Then Sanat Kumar, right? Sanat Kumar.
Kumaro, Kapila
Kapila Muni. Then Manu, Lord Prahlad, Janaka, Bhishma, Beli, and Sukadev Goswami Vaya, right?
Yeah. Sukadev Goswami and Dharmaraj or Yamaraj.
Dharmaraj.
Yeah. Last.
Yamaraj.
Yamaraj or Dharmaraj.
Okay.
So they're all Mahajanas. Okay. So they are all pure devotees. We have to follow in their footsteps. So did Yamaraj said, oh, no, you give me some other department. I don't want to go there into the hell and, punish them. It's not that it's a thankless task. Or did Bhishma protest? Why you are putting me in this situation? I have to fight against you. You are my worshipable Lord. Did he complain? He knew very well who Krishna was. He's not an ordinary person, but he fought. That was the will of the providence, will of Supreme Lord Krishna. If we are asked to fight against Krishna, will we do? If we are asked to fight against our own mother or father, will we do? This is a situation Arjuna is also put into. Isn't it? So that's why we should have knowledge and detachment, jnana, vairagya. If we have knowledge, what is right, what is wrong, and detachment. Oh, this is my person. This is my, thing. How can I do that? Just like it is, just like the police or military people telling, how can I kill people? There are also people, human being. I cannot give punishment to culprits. Police telling. There you should not see who is there in front of you. And who is instructing here? Lord Krishna himself is instructing here. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, then we'll go to next sloka. Dharma swanithishtha pumsam. Dharma swanusthita pumsam. Vishwakshena katasuyah. Notpadayet yadi ratim. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Dharma swanusthita pumsam. Vishwakshena katasuyah. Notpadayet yadi ratim. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Okay, Ajiveshri Mataji and Vivek Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu. Dharma sovanishtida pumsam viveke sena kadam suya nopa edi redim srama eva ki kevalam.
Vivek Prabhu, translation please.
The occupational activities of a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of personality of Godhead.
Okay, very good. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Certainly it's an unnecessary, useless labor or endeavor. If our work is not directed for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we are not getting attraction to the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's what it says. The occupational activities of a man, occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Personality of Godhead. There are different occupational activities in terms of man's different conceptions of life. To the gross materialist who cannot see anything beyond the gross material body, there is nothing beyond the senses. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selfishness. So those gross materialists who doesn't know anything regarding spiritual activities, who knows only I want to satisfy my senses, the senses of my extended relatives or whoever it is, for them, that's it. Their focus is only on that. Their sense gratification and the sense gratification of the extensions like family, relatives, society, nation, in a broader scale. So first it is concentrated to self. I want to enjoy. And to my wife or husband, children, parents, friends, then the society, then the state, then the Rashtra or country, whatever it is. Like that, it goes. So that's what it is mentioned here. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selfishness. Concentrated and selfishness centers around the personal body. This is generally seen among the lower animals. So this sort of mentality is seen in the lower type of animal because they are bothered about themselves, their body, their sustenance. Extended selfishness is manifested in human society and centers around the family, society, community, nation, and world with a view to gross bodily comfort. This extended. It goes, slowly and gradually, it is going in the higher order. Maximum to the whole world. Sense gratification. Above these gross materialists are the mental speculators who over aloft in the mental spheres, and their occupational duties involve making poetry and philosophy or propagating some ism, the same aim of selfishness limited to the body and the mind. So first, gross body for self and the extensions. Second, to the body and the mind. They will not involve in activities much, but their mental speculation. So their literary personalities, poets, philosophers, philanthropists, such people. So that is on a little more higher level, not only bodily, but on the mental platform also. But the above the body and mind is the dormant spirit soul, whose absence from the body makes the whole range of bodily and mental selfishness completely null and void. So above the second category of people are those who are on the dormant spirit soul level. Okay, the spirit soul we cannot see. And if that spirit soul leaves the body, what happens? It is a dead body. Nothing works. It's totally more than one day will not keep. We want to dispose or discard that body because the soul that pervades the entire body as consciousness is left. So, but less intelligent people have no information of the needs of the spirit soul. So the first category of people will entertain the needs of the gross body, that is the Pakka Karmis. Second category of people will take care of the body and the mind. They are the Jnanis. The third category of people are the Bhaktas, who will take care of the soul proper. They have the information of the spirit soul. So taking care of the soul is the right understanding. So because foolish people have no information of the soul and how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind, they are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational duties. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. They are not satisfied. Why? Because they are neglecting the soul proper, the real self, because of ignorance. They are in darkness. The self is beyond the gross body and the subtle mind. He is the potent active principle of the body and the mind. If the body has to work, the mind has to work, the soul should be there. If body without soul is dead body. Body with soul is conscious body. The body and the mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. So the body and mind, that means the gross covering and the subtle covering, are the outer coverings of the spirit soul. Just like how we are putting shirt or coat is just a dress for the body. Similarly, the dress of the soul is the gross body and the subtle body. The spirit soul's needs must be fulfilled. Now we are only taking care of the body and mind. Who? The materialists. Bhaktas know that they have to take care of the soul. The spirit soul needs must be fulfilled. We should take care of the needs of the spirit. What is the need of the spirit soul? To get connected to the supreme spirit soul, which we are not doing it. That's why we are suffering this material world. Simply by cleansing the cage of the bird, one does not satisfy the bird. One must actually know the needs of the bird himself. Many times we are told this analogy, taking out of the cage, not feeding the bird within the cage is not the right way. Okay, we have to feed the bird in the cage, otherwise the bird will die. Similarly, now what we are doing, we are just taking care of the cage. Cage means the body. We are not taking care of the soul. That's why we are suffering. So the need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. If the bird is let free from the cage, it is having its freedom. It can fly anywhere, isn't it? So the bird is very happy when it is let free. Similarly, our souls also is taking care of that can link with the Supreme Lord with through yoga process. The soul will be very happy, but we are neglecting that soul. We are not allowing the soul to have connection with the Supreme Soul. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit. That is the super soul, the personality of God. There is a dormant affection for God within everyone. Everyone has an affection with the Supreme Spirit, but unfortunately, it is in dormant condition now. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and the mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. So it's a perverted affection to the gross body and the subtle body we are having. Actually, our affection should be to take care of the soul, to connect the soul to the super soul. But unfortunately, because the knowledge is perverted, we are taking care of the body and the mind, but not the soul. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord. And any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendent message of the Lord, Godhead is said herein to be simply waste of time. Shrama evahi kevala. So if we are not chanting, we are not doing any transcendent activities, devotional activities, simply all other activities are just a useless labor. That's what Krishna says. This is because other occupational duties, whatever ism they may belong to, cannot give liberation to the soul. All other activities except devotional service will not liberate us from this material condition. Even the activities of the salvationists are considered to be useless because of their failure to pick up the fountain head of all liberties. The gross materialist can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to the Swargaloka, where we can enjoy more than what we can enjoy on the earthly planet, he will find no permanent abode for his anchoring soul, because it's not a permanent place either. Once the Sukriti is over, the spiritual, the pious credits are over, then we have to come back. Chine Martya Lokam Vishanti. Once the pious credits are over, we have to come back again to this Martya Loka. So the hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. So the soul can be satisfied only by devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not otherwise. That's what this sloka says. Okay, so we have completed 7 and 8. So next class will continue from 9. Okay, please make a note of that.
Yeah, noted.
1.2.9. So vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। गो प्रेम कृष्ण।